It's Tuesday. This is Trekland HQ, and we are live. Yes. Does that season 4 trailer help at all, Star Trek? Today on Trekland Tuesdays Live, number 446, with me, Dr. Trek, Larry Nemecek, coming at you here from the heart of Trekland for a hopefully some sanity, some clarity, and a bigger picture in all things Star Trek. Yeah, the home of The Clock is Ticking. If you're thinking about jumping in or checking it out, do so quick. May 1st is the deadline for the big 60th anniversary edition of our Exploring Trek Sites multi-day location tour with Geek Nation Tours. Yeah, this is bigger than my one-day Trekland Treks we just do individually as you come to LA. This is the big one, and we haven't done it in 10 years. GeekNationTours.com. That's the place to check it out if you haven't yet. It's the week before the Vegas convention, but you don't have to attend the con. That's the timing. Awesome, awesome thing. I am so excited to get back in the saddle with a big tour again. But hey, welcome everybody. It's Tuesday once again. Here we are. It's the TTLers are here with us from around the world at this time. Hey, I've got a topic. If you're new to Trekland Treks and don't know how this works, we either have guests or I'm going to be on a soapbox. Today it's a soapbox day, so that means that I won't be looking at the chat right off the bat, but we will scroll back and get to it. So don't think I'm ignoring you because, hey, the chat is the heart of our TTL community here at Trekland Tuesdays Live. This time of day I like to go because we can reach so much of the world. It's great to have the global perspective on Trek as well as what's happening in the world with media and everything else. So yes, if you're new to TTL here, if you're new to us on Tuesdays, please jump in the chat. Don't forget to look over there. There's awesome folks from all over the world. Jump in, let us know how's the weather, where you're coming from, how's the Trek where you are. And it's fine just to lurk, of course, but it's awesome if you're there. And just to know, if you're coming to us on Facebook, you're only going to see the Facebook. If you're on YouTube, you're going to see everybody's comments. Also Twitch. But YouTube also gives you the chance, if I may be so bold to ask, to jump in with crossing my hand with silver. We have super chats. I'm monetized for all for all the woo-woo that is. You can tell that I am monetized, but I'm not monetized like these guys putting out 2 videos a day no matter what. Sometimes 3, just to repeat what they said the day before. It's a whole, I get it. I totally get it. I get it that you're selling your books and if you say outrageous things, then you're going to get the clickbait and maybe somebody will buy your space opera fantasy adjacent sci-fi books. Hey, it's cool. That's capitalism. But this is the way we do things at TTL. We're a little humbler here, so I appreciate everybody who's in support of everything I do, from just our Patreon up to Portal 47 and our, yes, Trekland Treks. If the Geek Nation Tours is a little bit too big for you, then too big a scale, then jump on with me on a day trip when you're here in LA with a spare day from business or vacation. So that's what's going on here live. Oh, and if you're watching us later on YouTube, hey, you missed the live chat, but please leave a comment below. We can keep the conversation going. And maybe some Tuesday, you can join us. I know it's an afternoon for everyone in the Americas, but we have folks, a lot of folks are here lurking. So that's awesome too. Thanks everybody for being here. Yeah, the news of the week here in Trek is obviously going to be the, can I do this? Can I do this? Yeah, that season 4 trailer, right? Ooh, the black hole. Look, kids, it's 1979 again. I don't mean Star Trek, I mean Disney. That was cool. We'd been kind of drifting along here. Can I say this? Can I use the M word? I feel like it is back in the 70s now. Infamously, although he never said the word. President Carter got tagged with his malaise speech, but it's an interesting word. Don't confuse it with mayonnaise. Malaise, or with the country Malaysia. Malaise is kind of a feeling. I wonder if that's where a lot of you, we were kind of battered with all the news about the actual news about Academy cancellation, followed on very quickly by, oh, they're already gutting the studios. Again, it's this whiplash of there's 26 hours of Star Trek still to come, including 16 from Strange New, including 10 now, July 23rd. Right, just in time for SummerCon season and drive some of us crazy. That's still to come. We're in this weird time where we know there's more to come, but it feels like the big picture that's more important somehow is there's uncertainty, there's upheaval, and most of all, we're supposed to be celebrating a 60th anniversary that I was kind of shocked was going to be a big thing a year ago. Yes, I know. We're watching our original series heroes as the years go by and thinking a 60th anniversary is going to be very precious. So yes, go for it. But it still feels like, I mean, I've talked to fans online. I've talked to fans in the flesh now. And aside from setting me straight about why a 60th anniversary is important or why everybody is feeling the feels about a 60th, also this greater feeling of the cancellation of Academy, but more than that, just the upheaval with, look, we have a contract ending for the showrunner of the Empire runner of the last 10 years. People disagree with what he did. People disagree with what people on the team did that were empowered. People love some of these choices. I think a lot of times everything gets lumped into one big box. But hey, I can tell tons of difference between these shows. Apparently, that seems to be a laughable skill. I've been almost laughed at times when I try to suggest that there's a difference between Discovery Season 1 and, I don't know, almost anything of Lower Decks, much less the first season of Strange New or even the second. There is infinite diversity and infinite combination here, whether people want to acknowledge that or not. But whether you were the hugest fan of Secret Hideout or you were middling, or you are so glad to see them go, whatever you are, the truth is the future is unknown. Now, there is a future that's becoming more settled. Yes, the Ellisons are running Paramount Discovery. No, Paramount, right? Paramount Skydance, Parasky. It seems like this deal for Warner's will go through. What does that have to do with Star Trek? Well, again, Star Trek will be one of even more franchises competing for attention and oxygen. They swear that's not going to happen, that none of the franchises are going to be starved, including Star Trek. And yes, David Ellison had personal contact with the Kelvin movies, right? At least the last two. So an affinity for Star Trek, okay. Then people at the same time are thinking, well, gosh, can you just ignore Star Trek? Some people are actually so fearful of what might happen with the current political climate. They're almost I've seen fans say, please let it lie fallow for 10 years. That's usually the people that weren't happy with the Kurtzman leadership saying, let it lie fallow. I've also seen people fearful about what might happen under the Ellison regime, and they want to just let it fall. They're going to hope, let's see what 10 years brings us. Well, kids, my point here is that I just had to sit through 12 years since 2009, 18 years of treading water. I predicted this is what would happen when we shifted to movies and got away from TV, or seemingly to. And some of that at the time was bound up in the legalities. That could have been run around if somebody had wanted to find a way to do it. It didn't have to be, but it was the easiest path at the time. And it feels like, over the long haul, media is not the days when the moguls, the early days of Hollywood, when the founders of the studios, you can watch some great documentaries about the original, and Jack Warner was the last of the moguls. And with Jack Warner died the old studio system from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And then we had the upheaval of the 60s. And then things kind of calmed down with the 80s and 90s. And then we've had upheaval as the technology drove, audiences, and tech abilities drove the way movies were made and also presented and distributed and all of that. It just feels like, we probably fool ourselves when we think we've had these static times. I mean, we have. We've had a breather in different respects. TV and movies both, or even looking at them separately. 10, 15 years, and then there's a change. We have a tweak. Sometimes we have a major tweak. But recordable media now. Ooh, you don't have to miss the show. You don't have to go to the movie to see that. And on and on and on and on and on. And everything that affects everything, the way people are paid and the way the guilds and unions work, to how you receive it. Are there 3 networks or 500 channels? Is it streaming? Is it video? Is it digital? Ooh, is it remastered? Are the studios owning the theaters? That was the old thing. And now it looks like that was a monopoly, but now we're going to come back around to maybe some of the studios owning theater chains again. What happened to prior precedent? Well, we know how that goes in today's society anyway. So on one hand, maybe we've just fooled ourselves, or maybe it's not about being deceptive. Maybe it's just our human need to feel like we've got some stability in things. But on the long view, which I know Americans don't like to take, but in the long view of things, fighting your ADD, our cultural ADD, we've rarely had more than 10, 15 years of a status quo before things rip up and change. All that to say, we're human beings. Unless we're chaos seekers, thrill seekers. Why did this turn into an ADHD sermon today? Now, unless we're that, we crave stability, we crave security, even if it's just our passions, even if it's just our recreation. And things with longevity become honored. Yay, 60th anniversary. Things with weight and staying power. So yeah, here around the edges, around the fringes, or the fringes into the core, we're a little unsettled. Even as, on one hand, we're trying to party like it's 1966, 60 years later. We're trying to party. At the same time, it does feel like there's a bit of a malaise. And so my topic today was, I don't know, has anybody today, and this is going to be spoilers about this trailer? Because look, if you came here for a frame-by-frame breakdown, if I have to be breathless while I talk about it, that's been done. There's 47 other podcasters, YouTubers out there who have already done that. That's cool. That's fine. I debated it and I thought, why pile on? Why do the same old, same old? It's just a trailer. There's very few. By the time you have 47 different voices talk about it, there's very few ways to slice this any differently. I mean, everybody has their reactions. It's beautiful looking as usual. There's some real suspense moments here. July 23rd. It feels like Star Trek. They're talking about missions. They're talking about adventures. They're talking about risk is our business in so many words. There's some scary bits. There's the humor. Once again, I marvel at the culture's love affair of dinosaurs and apparently how I missed out. It's fine. It's fine. You do you, world. And looking at the Jurassic Park franchise, apparently a lot of the world I finally saw Jurassic Park just because I needed to. I've never seen any sequels. I mean, they're big and scary, but so are a lot of other, whatever. But it's a fascination. I get it. You do you. I'm not going to gatekeep about dinosaurs. To me, they're fast. I go to museums, and heaven forbid I come from a state that's got tons of dinosaur skeletons. And they're fascinating to look at and to ponder the fact that they are as millions of years old as they are and have been preserved, and how they were dominant, and how our Earth took a huge turn thanks to one asteroid. I mean, the story is all very sobering and kind of mystical and magical, but to be in love with dinosaurs per se, even the skeletons, much less brought to life. Okay, you do you. So to see one inserted here, you know what my first thought was? And I remember this from an old fanzine. Not that I ever collected fanzines, but one of the few I happened to see, or I just remember the artwork popping up somewhere else. There were times when people took the famous line, from This Side of Paradise, Spock and the Spores, and Layla Kalomi? How many of you remember the mention of the dragons of Berengaria 7? And I saw someone over the years interpret the dragons as like flying pterodactyls, and that meaning they had kind of a reptiloid life presence. Of course, I know about the Voth, one of my favorite Voyager episodes in the big picture, the philosophical, one of the most old school Star Trek episodes of Voyager to me. It was about the Voth and watching an alien's culture go through this science versus faith debate. And our guide, in this case, Chakotay, is just a witness to the whole thing, kind of like gobsmacked. So I get it. Anyway, it was just, that's the one thing that took me totally out of the trailer. It was like, oh, they got to do a dinosaur. Okay, fine. It's like, okay, fine. But everybody do you. Everybody's different. Dinosaurs obviously have a far bigger fan club than I do. So who can fault it? But no, a lot of the rest of the trailer, everything else in the trailer is really awesome, fine, funny. I don't know when they're going to let us know, but this is twice now, the early bird clip and now this trailer, where apparently the saga, the new trope of Star Trek is midway through your run, add a Vulcan woman to your cast. Okay, this is the first time it's happened in live action, apparently, after both animated series added a Vulcan character midway, a Vulcan woman, a young woman in those cases, as does she. So, yes, so we had the breathless breakdowns, the BBs of the trailer over the weekend. I was kind of busy this weekend, including, yay, if you didn't see my post, Cadet Alice turning 10. Youngest cadet ever, huh? Yeah, it was great. And I knew the meta of the trailer dropping was also that for a lot of fans, whatever you thought of the individual bits and pieces and all that, Strange New Worlds does seem to be the uniter of most of fandom now, at least live action. And even though that rough third season, which didn't necessarily need to come off as rough, except that's the way we all took it, that maybe there's been some corrections here. In the future, I'm going to do something. I'll either do a Tuesday live, or maybe we will do my new home over on Trek Culture, if you weren't aware. We've had a couple of pieces I've been involved with. More are coming. Maybe something about the recent, we say the modern series, we still have another year and a half of them, of this whipsaw of, and I talk about it all the time, the streaming era of writing a piece one year, producing it the next, and it finally airs, and the world and critics can react to it year and a half to 2 years after it was written. And meanwhile, you're overlapping into your new season. You're writing your new season before or barely during the airing of your last season, which is crazy. And in the years when we had 5 series going, they were all overlapping each other like mad. So if something actually needed to be coordinated or just respond to an audience reaction, everything was so, the old days when everybody showed up in May to write, and they showed up in June or July to film, and everybody debuted in the fall or maybe in January. And then everything was done, wrapped by June, but everybody had gone home with the studio a couple months earlier. The world all kind of moved in sync, and you knew how things interacted. You knew how things affected. You knew what reactions, how that might carry through. By the time a season ended in June, the reactions to cliffhangers, the reactions to any episode through the season, the new writing crew sitting down to write a new season was well aware of the reaction to where they had just been. And that doesn't happen anymore, much less the way things are filmed. So this wacky, overlapping calendar is wacky. It's hard to plot that. I say all this to say that the reaction to season 3 basically all happened after season 4 was planned. So if anyone's telling you that 4 was a reaction to 3 and the reaction to the reaction, that's not quite true. Same thing as season 3 making the big swings It was pretty much planned out even before the reactions to the musical and the crossover episode. I'm talking all this Strange New Worlds. Before the jury was in about the musical and about the crossover, all the big swings of season 3 were already on the board. Now, they could have been some tweaks to that once those popped in. Of course, that was mostly positive. But it was already, if something had completely bombed, you would have been hard pressed to go in and make major changes by that time. Budgets were in, production was already, these things depend on having this huge lead time that the Berman era, and my God, the original series would have died to have that much time. Of course, they were doing 26 a year, not 10. So there's all the pros and cons of that, the pluses and minuses, the ups and downs. It's just a thing to think about, because I saw this trailer. There's been all the talk about, well, it's going to be more somber. Yes, we're going to give you a little more Star Trek in your Star Trek. And the trailer seemed to personify that. Seemed to be all about the missions, all about the danger, all about the risk, all about the shadows. Actually, a couple of eerie moments. The one that really gets me, that I don't know if anyone else talks about it. Yeah, there's the hand on shoulder. There's the dinosaur. There's the black hole. There's the penetrating. There's 1 nanosecond when there are long white wigged or hooded, apparently aliens, on the bridge or in a lounge looking out forward with some of the crew. It feels very TOS. Like almost like it's, Feeders of Vol or something. The Gamma Trianguli 6s. That flew by and like, whoa, who are the white-headed people? And 2 different colors of costumes. Is it 2 factions? The setup felt very TOS-y. It made me smile. But what did the teaser do for you? What's the teaser done for the folks in your fan group? Now, it sounds ridiculous. You would think after this kind of battering spring we've had, March especially, after kind of the ups and downs, after this chaotic and at times very negative kind of spring. And look, I'm going to say negative. Lots of people didn't enjoy Academy. Lots of people at best thought it was meh. Lots of people feel like this is a big buffet and it's all on a lazy Susan and we just spin the wheel again. I don't like that. I'm just going to come over here and get this. And maybe it felt that way when we had Peak Trek with the old model, the 2017 model of streaming, which was keep them glued to this chair. Don't let them cancel. Keep it fresh all year long. Well, that model's out because it's way too expensive. So now we're down to 1 series at a time for the foreseeable future, maybe 2. Will we ever see animation again? I don't know. These are all questions for the future, and that's all part of what adds. There's just the uncertainty. Maybe it's an uncertainty that we won't like when we get there. There's an old, be careful what you wish for, Lieutenant. You may get it. There's also that old phrase, dance with the one that brung you. We got here this way. All the people, this used to happen all the time. Amazing how people forgotten the clamor when Rick and Brannon were the sole surviving standing people running Star Trek there the last 5-6 years. The end of Voyager and then Enterprise. And people would pray for different franchise runners. And it was always like, be careful. You get something different. It might not be as what you have now. You may yearn for these days. And that can happen again. Now, I'm not even talking about what, say, political overlay comes in the future. Or even if we even get what kind of a series we get if the emphasis goes to movies. Again, all these questions, all of this. And there's a time when a fresh start would be exciting. But we're in a time right now where, opinions are a dime a dozen. And for some of the folks who are wishing for a change on the small screen, there might not be much of a change. We may wait for the change on small screen. You might not like what happens with the new people running the small screen or the movies. It's just an inflection point. It's just a crossroads. And crossroads always bring an element of uncertainty. And again, what's so weird about right now is we're not even at a clean break. We have a season's worth spread over 2 shows. We have a season's worth, 26 hours, the old season, of Trek still to go. And yeah, there's been a lot of reaction to this trailer, a lot of people laughing and making jokes and doing the frame by frame breakdowns and hyperanalyze, because that's fun. That's what fans do. That's awesome. But here's what I meant with this theme this week. Has it just made you feel bittersweet? Is it just something to know that not only the end is near, but the end is near, like you know exactly when and where your Star Trek is going to die? It's almost like a corollary for Pike's personal arc or something. People are taking joy and, oh, thank God, there's something to look forward to. That's normal. But I've seen so many people who say, well, they were looking forward to celebrating the 60th, but if not the cancellation of Academy, just the cancellation of Strange New and the end of things and the big wide unknown ahead on several levels. Not just who's going to do Star Trek, what's the next format going to be, but will it be TV? How soon? Will there be an untoward philosophical, and I'm being generous there, philosophical slant or coloring that's coming down the road? What will this movie be? I'm all for new characters and grounding as long as it's about characters and tie-ins and not about, I don't know, the basic canon of Star Trek itself in this Origins movie part 2. So that's out there in the zeitgeist for us. The real world is out there with its zeitgeist as well, and things feel unsettled. And yes, I see people bitching and moaning, and rightly so, that this is a hell of a way to have a 60th anniversary party with all this uncertainty. And of course, folks who are in the business of promoting say, no, what do you mean? You've got a whole new season just around the corner. July 23rd of Strange New Worlds, just in time for convention season. Okay. But we're human beings. We know what's coming. We know what's coming is that we don't know what's coming. And for the first time, no matter how you've sat with it for 10 years now, because the peaks ahead were coming by now. No matter how you've sat with it for 10 years, it's an unsettled time. And for anyone who is greedily, licking their lips, pulling doing snidely whiplash here, tweaking your mustache to finally get beyond this thing you've hated for 10 years, it's a risk. It's a gamble. You don't know. You don't know the type and the tone, and you don't know the quantity or the delivery system. We might be leaning into movies and TV as almost an afterthought. If it wasn't for the fact that the streaming channel has to be there and something has to rep Star Trek, then that's that. Now, it'll be a year from now. It'll be a year from summer. If we get Strange New here, if we get Academy early in the year, and then we get the last 6 of Strange New in the summer, will there be new producers and new actors and crews and ideas and formats at work by the time Strange New finalizes in the midsummer next year? If that is indeed what they hold to. Will something be on the plate, or will there be all the emphasis on the movie and we get back around to TV in good time? If there is indeed at least a year and a half startup, and you're talking heavy digital visual effects, so much less redesigning costumes and props, and which of course they're going to want to do for whatever format this is. I just hope that a redesign or a new design makes sense because it's a new era. That takes time. A year and a half would be pushing it. 2 years would be more like it. The old days, A year would do it, but Jesus, heaven forbid we do anything sped up and then film 26 hours of it. When will the new gear up to replace the last of these Secret Hideout series? We don't know. It'll be, if they overlap at all, it will be Strange New Worlds watching promotion and information come out two different ways. So will they make a clean break and wait till the end of actually airing? Because the post on these shows will be done way before they air. They drop, obviously, right? I just keep thinking about the actors going out to do promotion. They're going to be doing it here for July. They've been gone. Their paychecks have ended of active production, as have the creatives. The post will be finishing up, but even then, that'll be finished probably before the first airs. There's no one left in the offices. Everybody has gone on to hopefully a new paycheck because they got to keep life going on. And this whiplash, this disconnect between the makers making and when we see it will rear its ugly head up again and be odd. And you'll hear actors, you'll hear writers and designers go, well, that was 2 years ago, guys. They've not only moved on, they've had to probably be in another job that's consuming their brain cells. So I hope everybody took good notes. That's what I tell every other creator. You hear me say it on Portal 47 all the time. Take good notes. Keep your notes. Keep your papers. Keep your photos. Keep everything. And I don't know, if it's harder or easier to lose your paperwork PDFs now than it was in the old days. Throw everything in a box, throw it on the garage, it's out there. People lose their PDFs with their email if they forget to detach every little thing. It's going to be a wacky era to go back and document in the coming decades, the digital era. I mean, Ken Burns, you're gonna lovingly pan over an email on a screen? I don't know. So no, that trailer emerged, and of course, the human reaction, the human instinct ought to be to go, oh, cool, it's the trailer. I can't wait for season 4. But I've heard people already talking about how the cancellation news and just the uncertainty has diminished the 60th anniversary party for them. Is that fair? Is that misguided? Is that right on the point? Everybody's going to react in different ways. I'm just curious what the mood is out there. And obviously, having a trailer drop for the new season, which isn't even the final season. There's a half a season to come of this series. But it just feels like the timing right now, I just wonder if anybody else was a little morose, was feeling a little bittersweet, knowing that the end is nigh, even though there's quantitatively 16 more hours of this series, even beyond what we see hinted at in the trailer. For the most part, aside from a little eye roll over the dinosaurs, from me personally, the trailer looks awesome. I just smile when I think anybody's thinking that it got more somber and serious because the reaction to last season, because this somber, serious season was already back in play before we ran the gamut. They ran the gauntlet of that season reaction last year. And most of all, this trailer, not a single Muppet to be seen. That's what difference a year makes. They led. What was the first piece of season 5 you saw? Season 4 you saw? The Muppet scene. And there we are. Sometimes the best and brightest of the Star Trek creatives, and I'm taking this back to the original series and Next Gen and all, sometimes one instinct out of 10, maybe not quite all there. Might miss the point just a little bit. Yeah. I'm looking at you, Sir Patrick Romulans are boring. Picard. Stewart. Yeah. So, how did the trailer land for you? How's your mood anyway right now, Trek? We've got the summer cons are 3-4 months away. I need to get my San Diego panel pitches in. The wheels are already hard at work celebrating the 60th at Vegas, as well as, we should say, there's a lot of celebration on for the 25th anniversary of Enterprise's premiere. So yay. This is the anniversary year. It's a year ending in 6 or 1. It starts with 1966, but it includes so many more chances to party. And as I always say, Star Trek fans love them some excuse to celebrate an anniversary, to party for a birthday of anything Trek. And that's where we are too. So I'm curious to know, were you excited for the trailer like just normal days, or did something about it seem a little, bittersweet is the word? Just wondering, because the future is still looming. Well, is it looming out there or is it looming back here? I don't know. There's so many questions that are right now in this pivot transition time. Is it coloring how you're watching the current Trek, which is soon to be the old Trek? Here's another question. Is Discovery Legacy Trek yet because it started 10 years ago, 9 years ago? Or is Legacy Trek Berman and original? And another 10 years has to go by before this decade gets pushed into that. Because there was a time when lumping Next Gen DS9 Voyager Enterprise in with the original series seemed ridiculous. But the compression of time has done its job. And now old is old. Okay. I really want to see what everybody's saying in the chat today. So hopefully everybody, again, if you just stumble into us here, welcome to Tuesday's Trekland Live. The chat is what we're all about here. After I've made my soapbox, I'm going to back scroll. Hopefully we haven't had such an explosion that I have it from the beginning. We've had so many people join us a couple of times in recent months that I've lost the first 15, 20 minutes to chat. It goes out of the buffer. But hopefully not. I do want to say here as we take a micro break, again, especially for those who are watching us later, you can still get into the conversation. You can still drop a comment. Please do that. And most of all, please like and subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. I got into the YouTube game late, not to Star Trek late, but just to this little arena. So everybody subscribing is a great help. And please do that. Keep it going. Maybe we'll see you live on a Tuesday here at 1-ish Pacific, 4-ish Eastern, 9-ish UK time, and 10-ish Central Europe. So if you're leaving us right now, just want to say, hey, please, as things ramp up this year, please, take care of yourself. Will you do all the things? Stay healthy. And stay awoke. Check the sources. The AI, whether it's entertainment or political, whatever, is going to get thick out there. The distraction, the misdirection works great for magicians, not so much for people trying to get you to affect your opinion and your attitude and your sense of what reality is. Even here in our Trek arena. So, yes, everybody, please. Trek well, would you? I'm just going to jump in. Yay. Are you a Star Trek fan? Yes. Buzzy B coming in on Twitch. Just kind of crossed the stream, talking about crossing the stream. What are you saying, Sean? Be sure to like, subscribe, and remember, Klingons only look funny in disco because they shave their heads for wartime. No other reason. Hey, listen, they had a whole... Ken and Mary at that first Vegas panel before the premiere had a whole elaborate thing about spy sensors being in the skull ridges. This huge elaborate thing justifying why they look the way they did. I feel like that was like rung up the flagpole to see how it would go. And it's been mostly forgotten, but I'd love to get a recording of that panel. Yeah. Back at you, Doralta. Good evening from Germany. This is what I mean. Hey, Joel. Good to see you. Yep. Hey, Captain Calvin. Captain Calvin. Coming in Germany again. Yes. Oh, that's you both. You bi-channeler, you multi-track. Hey, Christoph. Good to see you, of course. Captain Calvin, by the way, concerning monetizing, YouTube is acting idiotic again. They look for AI slop using AI instead of hiring people. We're going to have to deal with that, put up with it, fight it, be alert. Again, check the sources. That's part of this whole thing. Rimo. Well, hi back, Rimo. Do I feel like this is a shortening of someone we know? But I'm glad you're here. Cake, I'm glad you're here as always. Yep. Hey, Randy. Big fan of the Stranger Series. I want more episodes. Well, who doesn't? And there'll be 16 more, but that yeesh. Heyo. You guys doing your Ed McMahon? Don't even know who Ed McMahon was, I bet. There we go. Hey, Sean, I sure hope this new series has lots of strange new worlds. And you're saying series in the European sense, meaning season. Yes. Not like last one. That was nothing but same old crap. Well, I think it was new stuff, but it was, again, I don't think it was crap. I just think it got us away from the main shot of the show. People got wrapped up in their creative, doability, in the wonder and the love and the security of it all. Somebody should have gone, guys, these shows tend to run just 4 seasons, 10 episodes. You're lucky to get past 3, 4, okay. 5 is just about maxing it. Don't waste don't shoot your shot there. Hey, positive fandom. Always in favor of you. Watched episode 1 of season 3 on last Friday. You liked it. That's the follow-up. Season 3 of Strange New. That's the Gorn follow-up and kind of put the Gorn to bed, except for not. I remember all the 25th anniversary packaging on merch, and the 30th was huge, but was there ever one that was marked properly? Don't know what you mean there. You mean per an anniversary? The 30th was big. Yeah, in 96, that's the year we got Flashback and Tribulations, as well as all the anniversaries and the conventions and the documentaries and things. Hey, Melanie. You should have Melanie from not Modesto. Where are you from in the Central Valley, Melanie? Greetings. Cheetos, cheese that goes puff. Oh, you remember Star Trek the 20th for Game Boy and NES. Okay, got me there. 25th for Game Boy NES, they were a thing by 91? I guess they were, yeah. There is a bigger difference between Picard Season 1 and Picard Season 3 than between any of the Berman era shows. Not far from you. By the way, isn't it amazing to watch Issa Briones on The Pit? We binge watched The Pit. I was talking about this somewhere else. Oh, last weekend. Last week, right here on this show, talking about the Pit fandom has exploded and has all these peccadillos, like it's trying to rival all the sci-fi genre fandoms in their wildness and weirdness and nitpickability and shipping radical weaponized shippers. Yeah, Paris Sky. P Sky is the stock abbreviation. actually, PSKY. Now, the thing they're going to do with, what is it now? Warner Mount. If they get Warner Brothers, that's going to be the new name, Warner Mount. Kind of wild that the Warner Brothers name might survive still. Here's the question. What do they call the combined Paramount Plus and HBO Max? Talking about the war of the brands. After the stupidity of doing away with HBO and just calling it Max? Yes, it's the Grodenchik channel. It's all Grodenchik all the time. What 10 years of lying fallow will give us? No relevant Trek for the next 10 years. Frack that. Oh, I'm not for it. And I don't think that's going to happen this time. I just think it may be one series at a time with whatever they're trying to pump out on movies. And will they be one movie series, or will they actually take a card from Marvel and try to do one or two or three movie narratives? Will they do different eras, different foci? I don't know. Gerhard, good to have you here, man. The Germans are strong in this one today. Sean, you have a plan for this? Is like you're running for office. You have a plan? You have a plank for Trek? Give Aaron Walkie money. I'll vote for that. Give some more to Metalis. I'll vote for that. Give the rest to Mike McMahon. Yes. Keep a small bit back and churn out DS9 and Voyager 4K remasters at the rate of one a week. I vote for Sean. Congratulations. You just won the election. All for you. Yes. Oh, hey. You did find Trekland Tuesday. BR Clay T. We know, right? You sound off. What are you saying, Rose? You only have to wait 85 days or 12 weeks for Strange New Worlds. Yeah, we're almost to May. This is crazy. June 23rd is just May, June, July. 2.5 months. Thanks for that time slap, Rose. Somebody said something the other day about early May, and I said, well, it's another month. And they're like, it's the end of April, Larry. Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Oh boy, I'm so behind. I'm so behind. I say I'm on Trek culture. I'm so behind on my needs that I wanted to get done. And people are waiting. Yes. Give us a continuation of DS9. Yeah, we'd have to skip some time, like 20 or 30 years, but it's very doable. We're missing people, but you could pick up with that and get on with it. Hey, it's Cherry Tree. Did you guys see Martin when he visited a couple of weeks ago? Look, did anybody notice back there? I've got my Enterprise on the wall, and it's not out of the bag yet. You want to have a mini unboxing? How about we do a mini unbagging right here, everybody? Thank you, Cherry Tree. Okay, here's this big mini unbagging. Martin had one of these. It was a prototype. Apparently, it's a prototype no more. Yeah. Because it's not just a small model. You know what it is, really. It is how are we here? Here we go. Wow, this is going to protect it. No, that's not an exhaust port. It's a USB. It's a USB 2. That's going to be protective. Boy, that was something to get it off. It'll probably loosen up as we go along, but yay. Yes, this is the original design. Rick and Doug were collaborating on this, and Jim Martin. Yeah, this is what the original design of the Defiant looked like. See? Actually, now, pull off this back part, and now it's a Maquis Raider. Woohoo! Okay. 12-year-old me is having a lot of fun here. Thanks once again. They had these. Cherry Tree has those big, high-end board cubes and everything else for your computer guts, all these high-end products, and then they have all these great little doodads, too, at the same time. They're all very fanish. You can tell it's totally fan-friendly. So thank you, Cherry Tree, again. And I can't wait to see how everybody reacts at Vegas. Yes. Stability? I hardly remember what that feels like. I'm with you, Cake. I am with you. Oh, Judas Booth. Hi from Toronto. Hi, you Star Trek stealing city, you. Seriously, I wonder what the new regime, when they film the movie, much less when they film a series, will they keep it in Toronto? Will they go to some Paramount owned asset? Warner's by then, maybe. Will they bring it back? See, I keep reading these bits that say David Ellison wants to be an old school mogul. And he says, even if they own both lots, he wants to keep them both open and historical. Make it practical, upgraded tech terms, but not necessarily changing lots just to be, keeping some of the old character there, the glory Hollywood era, age. And Warner's and Paramount, especially Paramount, has that in abundance. Warner's has had the room to grow and add on newer bits. But we'll see. We will see. Meantime, I wonder what this footprint in Toronto is. But meantime, I'm glad you're with us. Judas. You could explain that. Oh, sure. You and your desire for stability. You and your human instincts. Yeah. Hi from Brandon in Kentucky. Hey, Brandon. Good to see you. Yes. We got the Hills in with us now. Do I have? What can I do that? There we can do that. Everybody get your stuff together. Yeah. Well put, Joel. Yes. Dinosaurs are big and scary, and we have the Gorn for that, right? Gorn are humanoid shaped. They shouldn't be big and scary. Yes, Gerhardt, I said this to wrap up with. No puppets. I think you are right on here, Gerhardt. Yes, indeed. Don't give them even more chatter. That cat is out of the bag, and it's a cat that people are tired of looking at. So we will see. It met so much. See, that's what I mean. They were so proud. Look at this. Isn't this cool? This would be very cool if you're going to wind up with 180 episodes and one is puppets. I mean, you remember how Renee's pitch for a miniature ship, the one little ship pitch had been around. He tried that on Next Generation and was laughed out of the room. He kept bringing it up on DS9, laughed out of the room. Finally, they're in desperation. It's 6 years down, 5-6 years down. Ira finally says, fine, do your stupid little ships show. But that's how those kind of things used to go. Fine, you can finally do it. Not when you've only got a limit of, 56? 46. 46 hours of Strange New, right? 10 a year for 4 seasons and then 6. Yes. How about that? Who will be the 47th episode of Strange New Worlds? The world may never know. Can't complain. Good deal. Wouldn't pay too much attention to dinosaurs. Got planted fossils just to test us. Yeah. Well, if they're alien dinosaurs, ooh. Could they be in some alien holodeck or something? I don't know. Time travel? Would they really do that? I don't know. Oh, look here. So, hey, Sydney's here and Glenn's here. Not sure they will get the dinosaurs on a spaceship like Doctor Who did. Yikes. Dinosaurs on a spaceship? Yeah. Oh, that's very sweet, Doralta. I will I'll pass that along next time I see her. Yay! I ought to like screenshot this just so she can see it. She's so tickled. Although if you saw my post, she's a big K-pop Demon Hunters fan. As who isn't? And she has her favorite. Zoe is from Burbank in the show. The other two are different places, different continents, I think. Hey, Philip, good to see you too. What are you saying, Sean? I find a lot of shows, I forget what happened before. And if the gap is too long, I'm too lazy to go back and rewatch to catch up. Hey, I can't help you there. I hoped out of For All Mankind for this. You hopped out. You hoped out of? You noped out of? What are you trying to say here, Sean? Yeah. Well, we had was it 2 years wait, 18 months wait coming back to season 3 of Strange New, the Borg 2-parter. Wow. Talk about an eternity change. Talk about a landscape change and vibe change before and after the strikes. Remember that? During and after the strikes. You are pretty much baked into Strange New now, regardless of any issues with the episodes. That's typical. Audience sticking with the show to the end. Speaking of big cliffhangers, the actress who shot JR was the real-life aunt of what TNG star? Oh my God, Sean. See, I wasn't a big Dallas fan. I barely knew. You just was around for so many damn years, and the cliffhanger you kind of knew. What was the character name? Caitlin? Is that who it was? The aunt of what TNG star? I just found out from dropping names with Brent and Johnny that Dean Devlin's aunt was Sealer Piat, was the alien wife who does the seance in Wolf in the Fold, original series. I was like, what? That was Dean Devlin's, was it aunt or mother? Anyway, amazing connection. You'll have to tell me, unless everybody else is guessing. Hey, Craig. Some reassuring words here from Craig. Star Trek will be fine. Paramount's just trying to get rid of Kurtzman before they develop any new TV series. The future is looking good. Well, yes, on that level, yes. I'm just saying there's two realities going here. If this merger goes through, the mega merger is going to be huge, and there are going to be a lot of franchises competing for attention. And then people worry about the most kind way you could say might be the philosophical. Now, I talked to a studio person, an employee, and not an executive, but somebody who hopes they have a job in all the layoffs, who say that this is what I had hoped, that a lot of the political posturing has just been to get these deals done, and that Ellison and company are too smart to go in and blow up the Star Trek audience. That they are too smart to shoot Star Trek in the foot. Now, that's not to say that around the edges, some things might be softened, but not a full-scale, turnabout intruder. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's good. So you're staying above... You're keeping your head above water this year for the party, huh, Craig? Okay. It's nice to have you. Is this your first time with us? I'm not sure, but good to have you. Cake says, usually same, but usually end up doing a rewatch of some sort. Last episode, last season of the whole show. And to get prepped and rewatch. Yeah, that is kind of a typical thing, right? Even though they do throw a previously on. I miss Majel doing those. Previously on Star Trek, The Next Generation. Yeah. That Vulcan transporter chief feels pretty enterprisey, no? Enterprisey? Oh, okay. You mean like T'Pol? Someone on Blue Sky suggested a Star Trek anime series. Why not? Yeah. You mean anime as in, what's the term? The big-eyed anime? That would be the delicate kind of, the delicate style, even more delicate than wacky Lower Decks. Could be. Can't he? Oh no, Narda, I hope I didn't spoil. I don't think I spoiled anything for you. Well, sorry. The big D's, the big TRs. Yeah. Oh, Sherry, that's the sweetest thing anyone's ever said. Oh, you mean missing the show? Oh, okay. Yeah, I got Plushy McCoy out of. Oh, Plushy McCoy had a shore leave with Scotty last weekend. Apparently, there. Let's put him over here with Murph. There. Okay, he's more visible anyway now. Get up, Leonard. Lenny Plum. Oh no, Cake, you didn't get the notification either. Captain Calvin's on a mission here. He's got a long one. I said it before and I'll say it again. A couple of years ago on one board, there was a guy complaining about new Trek. I said, well, you have two options. One, watch the damn show and make sure that we still get Trek. Or two, don't watch it and make sure that we don't get more Trek. Make sure that we don't get more Trek. And I'm enough of a Trek fan to say if I need to watch a few stinkers in order to get the new Trek, I'll watch the stinkers. In other words, Captain, you're kind of aware that the only system we have to deliver Star Trek to us right now, Fresh Trek, is capitalist media. Yeah. That's what I tried to say in 2017 when this wasn't even as established as it is now and people were protesting Discovery. Like they were just going to not watch and wait for the next one to come along. I'm like, that's not how it works. This is the first one out of the box. If you doom Discovery, if you boycott Discovery, they'll just say, fine. The suits and bean counters will take a big picture and go, oh, okay, well, I guess we came back too early. We'll try this again in 10 years. That is not, it's not the attitude to take. You can protest, you can critique, hopefully respectfully critique and not, sledgehammer critique, because who wants that? We want over 20 episodes a season. Yes, Randy. And I'm sticking to that selfish demand. Well, it's so selfish. That's what a lot of people. And it's not just Star Trek. Anything with a following. Hey, the Pit got 15. What'd the Pit get? Yes, the Pit got 15. What's wrong with that? Yeah, I know they were in one set. I know everything was off the shelf. Nothing had to be invented. I know. But they were paying for 82 different actors. What's 47 times 2? They were paying for 85 actors. Yeah. The problem with modern Trek. Yes, Narda, tell me what's wrong with modern Trek. So many people can't look past the Trek they love and grew up with. I'm glad I can see through that. What's funny is a lot of people learn to look past the Trek they didn't grow up with. When DS9 got hugely popular, Voyager got popular. Voyager to me seems like it's propelled by the love of Janeway. I called it Janeway's Army. More than it was the ensemble itself. DS9 feels like it got popular because of the ensemble, the format, the tone. People just love, and I'm not knocking 7 or the Doctor or Tuvok or anything else, but I'm just saying it feels like the popularity of both are a little bit different. Phil, our aspiring writer for All Mankind, is scratching that major Trek itch right now, but I wish even that wouldn't end. I'm hoping the new regime does the franchise justice. It's the 4th era of it that's coming. Hey, from your lips to the great bird's ears, Philip. Yep. Gerhardt says, I still have hope that Perisky will announce a new direction, including at least one actual greenlit project on Night 8. Yeah, I know. We've got Comic-Con and then we've got Star Trek Day. I know there's holdovers. There's people that still have their jobs in marketing and promotion and licensing. I hope they have enough channel. I'm thrilled and hopeful that they stay where they are and keep contributing and bring some corporate memory to all these new people coming in up and down the line. I just hope that their calls, if they yell into the tube, I just hope that the voice carries. I hope they say, guys, you're wasting an anniversary. That's been a concern. People were worried that the 50th was going to be wasted. But at least we had a new show on the way. We didn't know much about it, and then we started seeing it, and people were already starting to complain. Perisky is the new name, or is it just something that Larry came up with? Yeah, Perisky or P-Sky was the stock market shortened form. It was the LDS or the TNG or the SFA of it. 26 minutes in, and Dr. Ghoul finally shows up. I hope the drama isn't too harsh. Glad to have you here, Doctor. Would have liked to have had your take on some of the tone. It's hilarious. Nothing official. It's a term that, like, it's a trade. It's a Variety Hollywood Reporter compaction. But PSKY is the new listing for Paramount Sky right now. Now, that's not counting what they do when they take over Warner Discovery. They'll have more brands. Whatever they do, they're going to be wasting a brand, a famous, hallowed brand. Paramount or Warner's or HBO, somewhere in the mix of all this, good brands are going to get wasted because of monopoly. Yeah. This is true. Thank you, Judy J. Fettner. Artemis 2 has helped ease the sadness of the Trek nonsense. But if I may be so selfish, Judy, that's gone. I mean, it's still there. We still have the memory and the history, but it's not on, it did its thing. It was awesome. And now it's gone. It's a wonderful memory to hold on to. And it's history. It's not like it's our personal photo album. It's out there. We all shared it, but it's over. And it's going to be another year or 2 years before Artemis 3 tests the lander. Meanwhile, they have to invent the technology for the lander that they want to use. Oof. Okay, Philip, don't brag. March was a great month for you. It was your birth month. Happy belated birthday. But For All Mankind and Project Hail Mary came out. That's true. That's true. Icing on the cake was Artemis 2. Well, good for you. No, good for all of us for all those things. And you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm just looking here. What do you say? That's why you decided to do your script based on a fan production, just to scratch that itch and no longer question what I could do with the show. There you go. Gerhard, you're not affected for SNW as the end after season 5 feels organic. For SFA, you're definitely deflated regarding season 2. Yeah, I didn't even mention Academy. So are people lumping everything together, or are they separating out Strange New? And this is a good point, Gerhard. You're feeling natural with that. It's the melancholy, the sadness is about SFA feeling like it was, an abortive end. Yeah. Leave it to you. Thank you, Joel. Hopefully, Muppet Pike gets to ride that dinosaur. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Hey, Dan, good to see you, man. While the season itself was in the can, when people had seen and reacted to season 3, I do think that maybe the fan feedback did influence the marketing some. Yes. Oh, yes. That is true. I was talking about the root core of episodes and tones and things. Maybe why we didn't see any of the Muppets or silly stuff in the trailer. Oh, definitely. Yes. Besides, of course, the aforementioned dinosaur. Excuse me. We're live. Definitely, yes. Well, see, I'm weird. I know I saw a few people go, dinosaurs? But they're thinking everybody loves Jurassic Park. Who doesn't like Jurassic Park? How many dinosaur museums are in the world? Little kids love dinosaurs. Big kids love dinosaurs. I mean, I get it. It's just to throw it in there. Oh, and it's stock footage of a T-Rex from a stop motion. It's a George Powell movie from the 60s. Like, what? What? No, it's not that. Let's go show off our CG dinosaur models. Hopefully it'll be, like I said, this is probably not going to happen, but my crazy instinct would be, what if it's something about Berengaria 7? What if it's some kind of a tangent to the Voth? Even if it's just like a completely oddball thing over here, dinosaurs. Last 2 minutes of the show, Captain, we found some advanced technology over here that my UT is preliminarily trying to scan out as Voth. Dum, dum, dum at the end. And of course, everybody watching it who had no clue was going, what is a Voth? What is this? Yes, like a Voth to a flame. Christoph says, for me, trailers are a social media challenge. How to avoid any spoilers whatsoever. So I ruined your day. Is that what you're saying? Or did you unavoidably, the 2 or 3 things I mentioned have all been drowning you anyway? I don't know. Hey, Willie, good to see you. Yes. So Narda, our queen of the outback, having any Trek show canceled is always gut-wrenching in its own way, because it can't feel like we were losing a part of it. Can feel like we were losing a part of our universe. I wish something would come along that would last for a few years, like 7 again. Of course, those are sad. TNG was hugely sad, but TNG had the promise of movies, the old school turnaround. DS9 and Voyager didn't have anything of that. DS9 was, in the big picture, DS9 was, is anybody paying attention? And Voyager was, don't let the screen door hit you in the butt on your way out, right? Don't let the dope get you. Okay, Judy. Not that I would wish bittersweet on anybody, but I was starting to see people, Scott told me this once, and I bet he's not alone. A lot of people, their enjoyment of the 60th anniversary has been throttled, has been muted, I should say. It's been muted. It's been dampened because of all between the cancellations and just the endings with no future known, the uncertainty of the future. Not so much like even the whens, but the whats. Yeah. The quote in trailer from Princess. Oh, I didn't mention that. Yes, that's an Edgar Rice Burroughs quote at the beginning. Yes, Joel. If you know, you know. I saw somebody mention this, and they was like, "Oh, Edgar Rice Burroughs. Okay, well, he was kind of a racist." And I'm like, "But Tarzan, Barsoom, John Carter. Okay. Yep. E.A. Burroughs makes him sound so much more respectable than Edgar Rice Burroughs. What are you saying? Oh, hey, robot, I should say. A lot of posts here on YouTube, but only a couple of comments on Facebook. So here you are. Yay! Okay, fine. Better subscribe while you're there. Hit the button, ring the bell, do the things. Okay, good enough, Duralta. Did I ruin your day? Definitely don't watch it. I had it in the title. Does that season 4 trailer, do anything for you, help you out? I meant, does it lift your spirits about the current Trek, or is it bogged down with it, is what I should have said. So hopefully you didn't need an exact spoiler from me for this one. Okay. Yes. Hey, Dan. Bittersweet. Boy, Dan, it's been a long time since I've seen you in the flesh. In live action, in real life. Bittersweet is a good word for it. Certainly excited for the new season, but there is a tinge of melancholy that creeps in due to the current climate of Trek. Yes. And hey, Chuck, glad you could be here or pop up here now. Okay, Christoph, convention spring season starts in less than 10 days. Warp 2 in London next Friday, and then FedCon 2 weeks later. You guys are on the, well, we kind of had WonderCon here, but they've had conventions around. Yeah, that Mexican convention that all the headlines, trade show really, where the headlines came. Hey, Maria, good to see you from Brazil. and you love the trailer. I don't know. I mean, I loved the trailer too. The dinosaurs, I kind of did an eye roll, but I don't know anybody who didn't like the trailer or saw something really off-putting. But yay. Oh, Judy, you just got the prop store catalog for the Discovery auction. Yes. And just to differentiate, they had the large piece, get out the stage, clear out the stage auction for, was it Strange New? I mean, Academy? It was Academy, right? Yes. That was that 503 auction company in Toronto. But then Prop Store is doing these Discovery pieces, right? And some Strange New. It's kind of funny. Yes. You thought if you could write a tie-in novel, you'd definitely do Strange New, if you could pick. Okay. Hey, Dr. Gould. The further we go into the 21st century, you mean us, the closer we get to prominent on-screen dates that can be celebrated. After all, September 13th, 1999 was a big date back in the day. Yeah. Yep. Hang on. It's space. 1999. Yeah, hi back at you, Chuck. Good to see you. Yeah, but the moon didn't fly away. Wow, Philip. Hey, you know what? Like I say, you can't mess with anybody. You can't yuck with anyone's jam. Yuck with your yam. Space 1999 was a cool show. A lot of huge production design, the sets and the costumes and the props and the ships. The show, maybe not so much. I just remember the press kit screen. It was presented as the answer to a Star Trek fan's prayer while you're waiting on some kind of a revival, the second half of the 70s. It didn't quite come up to. Star Trek was 10 years older. It didn't quite come up to that. But it was amazing. Those Eagles are amazing. Never got to see UFO, even though I'm familiar with some stuff from it. There you go. No explosion today, but much flowing through the tube. Yeah. Thank you for being the tube keeper, Christoph. There's a lunar base in your fiction called Anderson Base because of Jerry Anderson's. Very nice. Very nice. Hey, Captain Calvin. Wasn't the reason that the Romulans in Star Trek 11, Star Trek 11, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you mean Nemesis? Cut their hair and did tattoo. Oh, no, the first Kelvin. Because they were in mourning for their planet. Yeah. Yes. I don't know that it was ever on screen in the movie, but that was the implied reason. And then they brought it out in the comic. Yes. Yes. And STLV in 3 months. Oh, Lordy. Hi, Lucia. Boy, we've got Brazil is showing up big time today. Yay. What now, Duralta? You're writing more as captain instead of the old Trekkie, but Twitch allows me to write more. Oh, okay. Just as long as you're here and showing up. Hey, Galinda, always good to see you. Yeah. Did we get Lucia and Maria together from Brazil across? Are you on the other side, either side of the Amazon, of the jungle? Phrase. My goodness, man. I use my robe every shower. It's one of the few Trek things I put to actual practical use and didn't keep it in the box. How you doing, man? I hope you're doing well. And you're working on good things. It's a great phrase, everybody. If you're not following him on socials, please do. Yep. Yes. YouTube cuts off characters at about 200 characters. Yep. Gorn to be wild. Absolutely. Bobby's email is Gorn to Trek. Aggressively relaxing 155. Well, hi, Ag. May I call you Ag or Aggie? Have you been with us before? If you have, that's cool. I'm just saying, welcome. Glad you're and what you've said. Obviously, I'm scared for the future of Star Trek. It should be illegal for these war profiteers. Oh boy, say what you think, for these war profiteers to own art houses. But the Star Trek online renaissance right now is incredible. IDW has great comics also. There is that. And a lot of those things are pivoted by the licensing overseers. So we'll see how that go. The BBC did a Star Trek night for the 30th, had quizzes, documentaries, premiere of Voyager. It is still on YouTube to watch back. It was amazing. I did. That's awesome, Sean. Thank you for sharing that reminder. You guys in the GSA, Germanic speaking area, Germany, Switzerland, Australia. There's going to be a Germanic anniversary documentary, and they shot some on the cruise because they had so much there at one place, and they used me to do a little hosting. So maybe I shouldn't spoil that, but it's coming. The cool thing about the Star Trek games for Game Boy and NES was that they were two distinct, different stories. How did it look on the Game Boy? Was it the monochrome, green, old green screen? Yeah. Issa Briones is very good on the Pit. That entire cast is amazing, and I just keep thinking how much she must have been wasted on Picard. I hate to say that, but just how much she was wasted. She's Broadway singer, Broadway musical star. On the Game Boy, you went from planet to planet to collect parts of a gun, kind of like building a B4 that you can kick the Doomsday Machine's ass. Okay. Oh, don't worry, I'm all caught up on the Pit. Okay, Zahir, fine. I don't think I spoiled anything today, but yay. And you lived to tell about it. I tell you what, gang, you talk about algorithms and secretly reading everything you do. Do you know how much now my YouTube and Facebook and whatever, the pop-ups, the reels and shorts, how much Instagram, how much everything is the Pit? I watched a few things and oh my God, half of my feed now feels like it's Pits. And there's a ton of it out there. Every interview, every red carpet, every sit down, every panel. It's like those people have a fandom too. And but somebody was talking about, old Pit fandom was this. I'm like, it's been a year and a half. You can't have old Pit fandom. Come back to me when you're 60. I love you, but let's define some terms here, okay? Let's get some context. What are we talking about? Philip. If somebody else hasn't said it, and now you have to be, it's on HBO Max, right? Yes, it's on HBO Max. So if you can, both seasons are out now. So if you take it for a month, if you're not already subscribing, you can take it and watch it. There's a lot of cultural highlights that fly by in the ether. I feel like the last one I was in sync with for a while was Downton Abbey. And that's been 10 or 12 years ago. But the Pit, it was the show. It's never about, writing the trendy hot show. That repels me sometimes. It's like, oh God, everybody's watching this. It's just the trendy hot thing right now. I'll watch it when I feel like it. That's the way I was about Indiana Jones. And that's the way I was about Jurassic Park. But I'm saying, and the Pit has some Trek connections. I mentioned Issa. Touche, Sean. Touche. Yes. Da 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 da. And the Warner sister dot. Yes. I always think about I always now have for years thought about the water tower out there. But what will the Warner brothers and the Warner sister do then? Well, here's the thing, Gerhardt. I agree with you, but Issa, I don't know what platform she's going to be at now, but her world is, and her Broadway shows, she doesn't have to do Star Trek at all. I just hope her feeling toward her experience and the fandom is there. I hope. Alison Pill's always been very quirky and independent. Santiago Cabrera, I thought I saw him in something major. It's like if they have lives and their life didn't depend on their Star Trek success, hopefully but I don't know how they feel about not being part of season 3. I don't know. And that one of the cast was in season 3 and the rest weren't. I don't know. I would love to feel that out. Some of that will be just time goes by. I keep waiting to see if Issa, in all of this pit, promotion, availability, interviews, sit downs, panels, I keep wondering if some mention of her Picard time comes out. But that's a good question. I would love to know how their reaction and attitude for everybody was. And Harry Treadaway, and what their expectation was versus what happened. Harry Treadaway, who was the Romulan baddie, and Peyton List, those folks from the first season that were pretty much like a 1-season arc, and they were going to be out of it. Died off and all of that. Spoilers. That's not quite the same as the regular crew. Yeah. Hey, my figure. Good to see you here. Hope everyone's having a really good week. Hey, Larry. Hope you're doing great. I am. I've got tons on my list to get done that I'm behind on. I had a long weekend away. A Will Rogers weekend plus Cadet Alice plus a reunion plus a long interview. Speaking of Picard Season 3, Liz Kosklowski has written a whole book about the relocation D Bridge coming next month from Master Replicas. Yes, I have to get set up and I have to get her back as the person who put her on a convention stage for the first time, much less had her on Portal 47. Early on, before she blew up, as we say. Yep. Hey, Gerhardt, for all the German-speaking people, Rob Picardo will be at Austria Comic-Con this upcoming weekend. There you go. Is that the one you mentioned, Christoph? I know no, there's 2 coming this weekend, and then Warp 2 is in the UK, and Austria Comic-Con in Vienna is this weekend, and then FedCon is the weekend after that. So big couple of weeks. I can't wait to hear our European Portales chime in on what the vibes were like at all those places. FedCon's primarily Trek. The others are Warp 2 is Trek, and of course the Comic-Con is Comic-Con. April 25th. Not too hot, not too cold. All I needed was a light jacket. Yeah. Martin is amazing. Oh no, Cake. What are we talking about? Hey, Duralta. Can I tell you something? So I'm just going to hopefully do a couple of pieces, a couple of deep dive pieces. Sean is and Ellie are the faces of the channel for Trek. Not getting in that way. And I'm still doing Trek Files, still doing here, still doing Second Opinion for Fresh Trek, Cadet Alice. I have to start posting. But I'm just going to do a couple of feature pieces, and then we'll see where it goes. Hopefully we'll do more. They want me to do more a month, but I got to integrate it. I've done the Vasquez Rocks kind of deep dive look. And then I did a jump on with Sean and talk about an event because I was at the LA premiere for Academy. All seems so long ago now. So I've been on twice. I'm overdue. In fact, people are patting their foot for me to get busy and get on with it. Little thing. It's just kind of it's just a flow turning the battleship a little, I keep saying. Yeah. That Defiant USB is amazing. Oh, I put the back on upside down. Did I? No, it's there. Or is it? No, it's good. Yeah, it is, isn't it? See? Isn't that cool? See, it's not, they did the warp engines, fronts and backs, and the nacelles fronts and backs are there. And they didn't mess with trying to put a decal on it. So it's a low price point, but it's very cool. And if you walk along and, and it's not this piece, right? It's not the tail, the aft section with the USB. It's the main bulk. Da-da. I still see that looks like a Maquis Raider now. It is very sweet. And you can get them online, I think, unless it's a pre-order, but they'll for sure have these at Vegas. You heard Martin say that the only convention they really go to is Trek Vegas. That's worth it for them. Strange news, coming too late to get new cosplay done in time for STLV unless you go as a T-Rex. You can be go as the dino. Who's stopping you, Joel? Who's stopping you? Come on. Hey, Wanda. It's bittersweet for you. I feel like season 4 and 5 will be like a long goodbye, and it makes me sad. See, this is what I mean. I sense a lot of fans are in your mood place there, Wanda. I'm going to the Philly convention and hope it will make me feel better to be with other Trekkies. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Conventions are good for what ails you. And of course, since I was kind of pioneering this way before everybody else, I used to always say Portal 47 is a great cure for the post-con blues because it's like a mini-con all year long. Yep. Hums the Superman theme from the Christopher. Did you hear me do? I think I was doing it too. Oops. Seen a couple of Liz's presentations about recreating the D bridge at FedCon in 24 and 25. That's why I said she was a superstar. Based on that, I'm sure it'll be a great book. Yeah, it's just like the book feels limiting. You just want to be able to go 3D and hollow with everything. You want the fabric textures. You want that. Hey, Lucia. Is it Lucia? Am I doing it right? I'll just put it through the camera to you. There. How's that? Yeah, just take it. I'll get another one. Well, I'm sure they'd be happy to sell and send you one. Absolutely. But thank you guys for you use that my tone, my question hit home. Coming up next, USB-C stick looking like a Delta Flyer. Hey, tell Martin, pass that along. Pass that along. Does it really fit the I mean, if this is the whole this is the beginning of a whole line of these, who knows? Surprised no one ever recreated the Defiant bridge. Surely it's the easiest, it's the smallest, and it's like skinny. Yet the TOS Enterprise has been done several times. Well, Sean, which bridge is the reason we're all sitting here right now? I mean, come on. 80 episodes, 20 years, all there was. No one got tired of it. We lovingly could critique it as the years went by, but come on. We better not, if the 60th is all about the original series and not the franchise as a whole, then we can't ignore the reason for the season. And I don't mean ignore, I mean just everybody forget. And it may feel like a stuck record. It may feel like, overkill to homage the original season, the original series, but it's the reason we're all here. It's the reason anybody cares. And if you only care about Picard and Data and the D and Riker and Geordi and Beverly and Marina and Troy, and Q and whatever, You still owe Matt Jeffries and Bob Justman and Dorothy Fontana and Gene Kuhn and Shatner and Nimoy and Dee and Jimmy and yeah, all of them. How much is the storage of that USB stick? How much stuff can you put on it? I don't know. There's no lettering here. This is how I got it, but a quick look at mycherrytree.com I think would probably tell you. Yay, a mini unbagging. Oh, we're just now there? Oh, I better pick it up. Trek can get a pile of computer doodads, but Anderson shows can't get any 21st century love. It is to weep. I'm sorry, doctor. I'm sorry. Maybe you can pioneer the breakthrough revival effort. Hey, do something. Put it out there. Do something. There is a show that Rob Lowe does, Call the Floor or something. It has 81 contestants. They fly them all into Ireland and put them up and fly them back because it's cheaper than shooting in the USA. Yes, he's talked about this. He has talked about this. That includes, I'm sure, the crew and everything else too. Did the auction of the sets happen in Toronto yet? I thought it did. I haven't even felt like talking about it or reporting on it. I don't know. Sean, I'm not against unions, but at a certain point, don't they need to climb down and accept the lack of work in California is caused by the current setup? Well, if you're talking about cost of living and expected salaries, that's what it takes to live in California. So if you want to suggest that we should just flatten or decouple or pull a Bugs Bunny saw and cut out Hollywood and send it all away, I mean, that's kind of what's happened. And the way to fight that is with the tax credit. That's how Atlanta and New Orleans and Chicago lured them away to begin with. And then Toronto and Vancouver first, and just being a little cheaper to begin with. But there's still unions and guilds in those other countries. It's not the guilds are greedy. They're just trying to match living wages for their people there, especially considering the long hours and the unglamorous work for most of them. And they're finally, the problem was in California, they took it for granted. It was a little arrogant. Oh, we'll never lose Hollywood. It's like, it's been happening for 20 years, guys. When the X-Files went to Vancouver in the 90s, come on. What's your clue here? That's 30 years. And they're finally waking up and having a clue and paying attention. I saw a story where Newsom is going to try to they've added on, brought one back, they've like doubled it, and now the first one was the one that Picard utilized, and it was a drop in the bucket. It helped, but they were in California because Patrick wanted to be here, and it was pandemic hadn't happened, but it just doubled down on that. So it's like chicken and the egg, which came first? No. Okay. Oh, and Mr. Transporter Room's in the house. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. Let's be honest. These Gorn can be scary. On the other hand, I like the Gorn from the TOS episode. Well, like my headcanon is that he was the Gorn captain and he was an elder and moves slower, and their metabolism burns up so much. You see the difference between the hatchlings and the adults that you've seen, either in the suit or in the CGI. They're more humanoid-y paced. Their metabolism feels more like humans and other humanoids. And maybe that curve extends to the captain. And this is all my retcon of the arena with the Gorn. Maybe the Metrons were not crazy. The Gorn was very strong. The Gorn could lift up boulders, but the Gorn was moving slower than Kirk and used high tech, but it's high tech developed by the whole culture. And so you can laugh at the slow moving Gorn, but maybe he's a captain elder, and that's part of the balance. He has huge strength. He's almost maybe Kirk's a little smarter, but Kirk is more agile and maybe a lot smarter when it comes to chemistry. Maybe Gorns aren't promoted on their knowledge of chemistry and geology and botany. I've heard stories that if a sound guy wanted to move a light stand to help out, there would be a huge problem because he was taking a union job. I actually asked somebody about this recently. What was the situation? Because, yeah, that was the old thing. It's like, stay in your lane, stay in your guild. It's not taking a job. It's like, moving something. You read a lot of the backstage folks on Trek. You listen to them like on Portal 47. And they talk about people helping out. And they talk about what a great guy, what a great gal she was. If they were standing there and you needed to do something, they'd lean over and move it or pick it up and move it or whatever. It's almost like it's gone full circle from when I was a kid and you'd hear those stories. Don't move that cable. Don't. Part of it was you didn't know if someone was going to touch something. But everybody is so savvy now with tech. Now it's gone full circle to, hey, they're great. They lend a hand when they can. It's not that stay in your own lane. That's not your guild. You do your thing, I'll do mine. It's like more humans. Everybody helping out at the picnic and the family reunion and everybody doing something different. But at times you carry this and I'll carry that. So yeah, I think that's older. But if you listen to anybody from the modern shows, they'll compliment someone. And they always used to say, the Enterprise folks would always say, oh my God, if somebody was telling a story about something blowing away when they were on location and Scott ran after it like 50, 100 yards and grabbed it and brought it back over, like a lighting, a reflector or something. Yeah. More props and sets in the office. Yes. Well, if you can watch the Puppet episode now, power to you. Would you share how you got to see it? It's in the new season, ostensibly. Just so funny how that just landed with a thud. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Hey, Shelly, good to see you again. Yes, I'm catching up with you now, but somebody probably told you the Voth. Yes. 26 was too much. Well, it sure ground people down and burns people, especially the crew people. Writers too. But maybe could they do it? This is my number. Yes, 18. Exactly, Sean. That's kind of my thing. Hodgkin's law of parallel planet development counts for dinosaurs too. Oh yes, I get it. Yeah, good old Hodgkin. Not Hodgkin's theory, but Hodgkin's law. Because they are 300 years smarter than us. Yes. Oh, that's cool, Lucia. Thank you. I'll pass that along too. Look at me here doing a screen grab. Yes. Oh, Duralta, you wrote a Trek Jurassic World crossover? Well, I don't. Don't some of the Gold Key comics happen on a dinosaur planet? Oh, look, I'm doing good enough that I get yes, I get Twitch blogs. Denise Crosby. What about Denise Crosby, Chuck? I guess I lost the setup here. One little ship directly follows Far Beyond the Stars. That's quite a whiplash when you binge this show. Gerhard, you're coming in with some really good zingers here. Oh, yes. Mary Crosby shot JR. Her niece is, of course, Denise. There you go. There we go. I wanted to say Mary something. But Caitlin was the character, right? Caitlin shot JR. You were more into, you do know, Doctor, that the Who Shot Mr. Burns was an homage parody of Who Shot JR, right? Oh, Kristen. Okay, I knew it was something like that. I was saying Caitlin. Yeah, Kristen, Caitlin. There you go. There you go. Very good. Good question, though, Duralto. Thank you. I'll never forget that. I'll always remember that. Oh, no, Pedro. We're not saying that's happening. It looks like that could happen the way things are going, reading the tea leaves. And they're not getting rid of him. In Hollywood, you just let their contract expire. That's what happened to Rick. They just didn't renew his contract in 2006. Enterprise was canceled. And then there was a year that Rick had to just sit in his office with his assistants and keep making phone calls and pitching projects and commissioning the script for the Romulan War movie from Eric Jendresen, which I need to read sometime. But the world was effectively dead, and you just run out your contract, because if you sign a contract and you break it, then you're entitled to more money, or you sue or something. You'd sue and win, unless there was some, cause showing. Nope, we don't fire people. We let their contracts expire. That's how you do it. Works in other industries too, but for sure in Hollywood. It was his mother. Okay, that's what I thought. It was very close. Guy that played the father of this cowboy, too, Ray Krebs, was played by Comer. Yeah. William Wyndham. If you ever get a chance to watch reruns of My World and Welcome to It, awesome show. Talk about a one-hit wonder. It was canceled before it was too good for TV. It won an Emmy and was canceled. I'll always remember him from that and The Farmer's Daughter. And Commodore Decker tops it all, though. Yeah, sure. Now, see, they're so savvy about keeping an eye on, international saleability and profitability. Sure, there's been manga over the years, at least in the 90s and the aughts. There was original series era manga books. It just feels like, yeah. No, Pedro, no puppets. Spoiler alert, no puppets. And of course, everybody glommed onto the dinosaur. It's like 2 seconds of shot. It's a 1 minute trailer with, I don't know, probably 50 or 60 moments. Nothing is longer than a second or two. And the ones that are a little lingering in the beginning, then the rest are flashes. So no. No, I didn't spoil it. I was only saying I haven't seen it yet. Okay, good. Trek Culture put out a whole video saying, don't like it, don't watch it. So everyone in the comments said the obvious. Well, we didn't. Well, it's Strange New feeling like good old Strange New, not like the weirdness of third season. And again, no puppets in this trailer. So now you're just going to be down to the beginners. What my uncle used to call the beginners. They'd show up to the city council meeting or the school board meeting, and whatever they were going to do, they were again it. I just kept that. We didn't do it. We didn't have it when we were kids. We got by without it. What do they need it for? Because it's a whole different world. Oh. The game that is played is capitalism. Right. Well, it may not be available to you, Pedro, but yes. A lot of Trek fans love The Pit because they laugh about it being competency porn on steroids, because it's an emergency room. And all the medical shows ever before, this is like the first 5 minutes of Saving Private Ryan of medical shows, because it's, ER was supposed to be the new bar 30 years ago, and of course Noah Whalley was on that, but that's what made George Clooney a star. We first moved to Burbank in LA. The ER was just starting, and we had friends who were nursing consultants on ER that were extras also, and they knew George Clooney when he was just, the nephew of Rosemary Clooney and his dad's son before he blew up. And they were there when the first year the show blew up and his world exploded for the good, but it was still a stress time. I have very fond memories of him talking about how his world had blown up, and how much fun it was working on ER as bringing the medical to it. And you can tell they're doing the same thing on The Pit too. They are so into. I pick out the extras who must be the real life medical people that they've hired to be extras, to advise between scenes and just be there and fill in the. You see several of them. Maybe that's the wrong stance. You don't have to like it, but you don't have to like it, but you have to watch it. Well, you don't have to watch it. Yeah. Yeah, everybody got Denise. Yep. Good on you guys. I mean, this is I know. You could, if you want to support Trek, you could turn it on and then walk away. You could turn the sound down. Yeah. You had a lot of good characters, just rarely used them. It became the Seven and Doctor show a lot. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely, tootly. See, this is what I'm saying here. Yeah. There's not enough demand. There's not enough perceived demand for Trek to go, oh, well, let's try again and just do better. It's just Trek. And the idea that there's nuance here, that one Trek is better than another, it hasn't been in the zeitgeist long enough again. It was in the 90s, but now that generation's gone. So later seasons is why you can't stand the show. Strange New? Okay, well, nobody liked third. If that's what you're talking about, I'm jumping in here. I'm also going to try to speed up here on the chat, everybody. Although Chakotay had the interest of paint drying. Well, they didn't exactly do right by Robert and the character, starting with trying to do right with a consultant and then hiring a consultant that had already been exposed once, but who was still working. Voyager was not the only show that Jamaica Highwater was still consulting and faking his identity as a Native American. He was working on a lot of shows. Somehow him being exposed 10 years earlier or 5 years earlier it was pre-internet, gang. It's pre-social media. Yeah. The 50th anniversary is looking a little better than this. Well, I would hope so, just from the numbers logic, but we'll see. This is kind of it, Duralta. It's like an election. You're not asked what you want and what you don't. You're getting to make a cross in a circle. You say yes to the O. Well, you take the best, or you put up with what you don't if you don't vote. Yeah. Narda, very true. Voyager and DS9 gained much more popularity in later runs. Janeway's Army, for sure. Yeah. First time at Vegas, Tony at Trek Movie was running a panel, and they had a huge, complicated judging broken down by category of the captains. Who was the best captain? And of course, it was always Kirk or Picard, Kirk or Picard, Kirk or Picard. And that's the one with all this breakdown in category subtotals that you got into things, and everybody got 1 to 5, and Janeway won. And it actually made like AP headlines. Somebody did a story, and it got picked by the wire services. Star Trek fans picked Janeway as best captain. And to the world of 2006, 2007, the fact that it wasn't Kirk. I mean, if it'd been Picard, it would have been like, oh, the generations have turned. But the fact that it was Janeway was just like, what? And I forget Kirk or Picard were number 2 and 3, and of course, then it was Cisco, then poor Archer was last. Sometimes think complaining, true. Yes, Chakotay did have good episodes. But he wasn't done right. David, I sometimes think complaining is the new national pastime. You think? Otherwise, how do we justify all this airtime and space and digital time and all this for everything online? What if we just stop buying things? Oh my God, I'm a communist. Come arrest me. What if we just stop buying stuff? They used to say that. Then we wouldn't have a trade deficit with China for all the crap. And some of these stores like Walmart would go out of business, the brick and mortars. Now we have Amazon to just ship it to us. And I don't know, do what to the environment while they're shipping us tons of stuff. Forget Walmart being the big baddie. It's almost like Walmart is almost sympathetic the way they've been crippled by Amazon. It's like, who's better? Which is the better deal? Netflix buying Warner Discovery or Paramount buying Warner Discovery? It's like lose. Which is the lesser of two evils? Yeah. And later it was Seven's Army and Seven and Janeway. I'm just still saying overall, Seven and Seven doesn't have a statue in her hometown. That'll be a ways because Annika Hansen was born on one of the colony worlds. I forget which colony. But we do have Artemis 3 to follow. Yes, Judy, you're switching platforms. Plus, we ordered all of the swag for it. For Artemis 3? They're selling swag for Artemis 3 now? Okay. I guess so. Yay. Gentlemen, we can build the lander. We have the technology. Well, they're on the edge of it. Target audience just reacted to Voyager's cathexis. Reminds me how sad it was that Jerry Taylor didn't get to resolve the Gothic holonovel she set up. She should have bit the bullet and resolved it. It wasn't that. It was just coming off as boring. And they wanted something juicier and jazzier and sexier. So they went to that Sandrine's replaced the holonovel. And then the stupid resort replaced Sandrine's. Of the holo program of choice. That's what that show should have been called. Star Trek: The Search for a Fave Hologram. A holo suite, holo program. Yep. What? 38 people are watching only on YouTube. Yeah, go on the show some love. I hit tap. Thank you, Rose. Thank you for trying. Yeah. Curious about the dinosaurs. Hopefully, it'll be on a spaceship or something. A dream. Let's see. We put the holodeck on ice. Yeah, a dream or time travel. Yeah. Or alien dinosaurs. The alien dinosaur planet where they were transported by the Voth and didn't evolve. I don't know. And Pedro, I don't care about Voyager. What I mean is I don't live it and breathe it. I watched it be made. I lived it. Janet worked the first 5 seasons. I heard about it every night. But Distant Origin came down the pike. I watched it and I was like, this is one of the most Roddenberry-esque shows of this. In fact, I may have stolen that from Jerry, or was that after her time? Just thinking it was one of the most Roddenberry-esque shows because it was the philosophical bit about science versus faith from an alien viewpoint. Yay. Ooh, Berengaria or Voth time would be interesting. Good thoughts. You're welcome, Dan. I'm just clinging. That ship has sailed, right? They said at CCXP Mexico that the dinosaur is the same used in Jurassic Park. The same CGI model. Okay, fine. It's bargain basement now. It's been ages, right? Not sure the writers of modern Star Trek are aware of Distant Origin. I'm betting at least one is. This is strange news. They've had some writers leave, but I'm betting at least one is aware, but we'll see. They have consultants too to note these things, right? Oh, good. I didn't ruin your day with hints about the trailer. You can take a few crumbs. We can take a few insults. Hey, Steve Areno. Joining late. Thoughts on the announcement of the new reboot of the series with no Abrams connection? Well, the series, talking about the movie? Because it's like no Abrams connection, no Berman connection, no Kuhn and Roddenberry and Fontana connection. And I'm going to say that I was paranoid about this because I thought we were going to like blow up all of canon and continuity just to be different. The way that JJ wanted to in 2009 until they persuaded him to make it an alternate universe. And then they still kowtowed to a timeline. And I'm hoping, my worst fear, I thought about it for a minute. I've wanted to have an all new set of characters. Now, I hope it's in the time. I hope starships looks like starships. I hope there's saucers and nacelles to a ship, and I hope there's an NCC on the number. I mean, I hope the guns are called phasers. I mean, I hope they haven't blown everything up for the sake of blowing it up. What I'm hoping, in their clunky movie promotional way, the way they talked about the Origins movie, that it was a Kelvin movie because they had to, because that's where they were, but it wasn't really because it was going to be before. It's before the events of Star Trek 09. Well, if it's before the events of Star Trek 09, it's a Prime movie. It's not a Kelvin movie, but anyway. I'm hoping that's what this is, that it is in the universe. When they say it has no connection to any other Trek, they mean by the characters. They mean character personal connections. And that's what I'm hoping. Them in their clunky, we're not really fans and don't understand how this, like we say this, and this is how the fandom reads it, but that's not really what they meant exactly. Because when they say connections, of course they're meaning characters, because that means stars, because that means, you know, old Trek is who's in it. Old Trek is not about the production design or the tone of the props, costumes, what are the terminology? Is it a landing party or is it an away team? I mean, they're not thinking that. They're thinking faces and actors, which means characters, or young versions of characters played by new actors. So I'm hoping that when they say it has no connection to any other Star Trek, that they mean people-wise, and that it doesn't mean we use a calendar dating system now called warp dates, and the year is going to be 9247 or something. I mean, it hasn't just gone out the window, and we don't use anything nautical. Everything is military now, not nautical. So I'm hoping it's still in the same universe. It just really isn't the same characters, and they picked a new time. And that's what I've been asking for ages anyway. Not to knock the legacy characters, but can we please go stake out a new point in the universe, in the galaxy, and in the timeline? Stake out a new place and go play there for a while. Good to see you, Steve. I have something to ask you, Steve. Not about Star Trek. I'll write you on the side. Pedro, you're still waiting for an exciting announcement for the 60th. So far, it's been pretty poor takings. Well, give them a little bit of a break, because half the people that might be doing that have been fired and laid off, Pedro. No, this was not done according to the best practices of celebrating a franchise. Nobody asked to be sold and rebought and then maybe merged into another purchase and all of that crap. The people who are still there, who are holding down the fort, clinging on, no pun intended, to the fort that they're trying to hold on to, they're doing what they can. I think that's where Scouts came from. By the way, what's going to happen to Scouts? I need to watch the last few episodes. I hope it doesn't disappear. Are we going to get Scouts on? I want physical media for Scouts, so it doesn't go down the rat hole and we never see it again, or the black hole. there's at least some sidebar things happening for the 60th. Kirsten Beyer writes for Modern Trek, the Voyager novelist. Right, Joel, right. I've gone blank. I'm too tired from the weekend still. I'm so far behind. Never watched the movie or read the stories about John Carter of Mars. Did you? And if so, how was it? I never have. I've just lived a life where that was always just in the ether. I've got friends that read them, especially when we were kids and teenagers. Adventure, because it's goofy, because it's on Mars, but there's no science. No science consultants were harmed or hired in the making of this novel in 1900 or 1910 or whenever he wrote it. Yeah. She does. She does. She's not a showrunner. She's come up the ladder a long ways. She's the only one of Brian's original hires from 2016 that has been with the franchise all the way through. All the shows. I think all the shows. Picard and Strange New and Academy too. Yeah, of the live actions, I say. The live actions. Yeah, if Aaron is still aboard as science consultant, she would have overlapped that, I'm sure. There you go. There's a vote for John Carter. The movie, I didn't see the movie, but I heard it was controversial because it got a bad rap, but then the other half of the world showed up and said, no, this is pretty good. What's wrong with you people? But by then the damage had been done on the word of mouth, and I don't know. Doctor Who had to do their dinosaur episode. Diners on a Spaceship wasn't too good. Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. That's what everything's coming from. Nah. It's just my contribution to the question. I don't watch the trailer, however, I'm looking forward to the season. There you go. Hey, Judas. Oh, Judas Booth was the fake name David Lynch wanted to use as his director credit when they took Dune away from him. So what's the mainstream fake director? Oh, crap. There's a widely used fake director name. Crap, what is it? What is it? Nick Myers mentioned it. Damn it. Just hope they don't bring aboard velociraptors. Yeah, it'd be like the macrovirus. Target audience in one of their reactions also joked about there being wrestlers in Star Trek Voyager because it's stupid. Oh boy, yeah, I wasn't laughing knowing what is to come. Well, they had a wrestler in Star Trek Voyager because it was a sop to the UPN picking up wrestling, which was stupid to begin with. It was just part of the down spiral. Yeah. The Rock. Yep. You smell what The Rock is cooking? No, but don't hit 7. Oh, too late. Dr. Gould, haven't seen the trailer, was too busy writing my own stuff, having quite the explosion of inspiration. Good for you. No, don't let a trailer stop you. Oh, no. Speaking of being inspired with work to do. Hi, Engineer Boy 81. First time caller? Long time lurker? I don't know, but good to see you. Maybe they time travel to the past and beam a dinosaur into transporter buffer and then return to the future to rematerialize it on land for some reason. Either Jurassic Park or Star Trek 4 reason. What if it's an homage to Star Trek 4 for the 60th? It's a 60th anniversary episode. I'll see your whale and raise you a dinosaur. Yeah. Some say Voyager had a wrestler. Others say Voyager had one of the biggest action movie stars early in his career. Good point, Gerhardt. Some say the opening narration for the original Galactica. It really was the nadir of the show. No, Voyager went way lower than that. It was, yeah. Self-stealing stem bolts. Hey, Derek! Hey, man, you're here. self-stealing stem bolt. This self-stealing stem bolt, yes, making an appearance at Warp 2 in London next week. Did you bring the self-stealing stem bolt? Because the British fans will love that. If you didn't see Derek as the giant self-stealing stem bolt on the cruise cosplay, will that pack to go over the ocean as well as it did on the ship? I don't know. Written by Chris Chibnall, the Doctor Who, right? The Doctor Who dinosaurs on a spaceship. Dinos on a ship. Dinos on a ship. Uh-oh, Truck Yards raid. It is the final Tuesday of the month. 403 is doing the Toronto auction, but don't know if I want to drive 3 hours for some of the stuff. Only 3 hours. Wow, see? Okay. Do not mind. Yes. Space 1990 first season was awesome. Its effects and production were outstanding. Stories often were intriguing. Okay, I should give it. I watched the pilot. I could not. I knew Barbara Bain was award-winning actress, but I was laughing at the acting. Oh, John, I'm terrified. Yeah. And season 2 had Maria Schell, where they tried to do the midstream revamp and I read all about it in Starlog. I was very up on it. I just didn't want to watch the show. Oh, Philip, you're going to be at STLV for a week, and I hope everyone who's going who's going there. Yes, absolutely, of course. Pace 1999. New Jersey. No. First season was awesome. Yes. Oh, here I thought we had 2 from Brazil. You sneaky. Okay. Why are we recycling this? Oh, I'm sorry, Pedro. Geek Podcast? That's the name of it? Geek Podcast? Oh, well, that happens. We've gone from clubs. We've gone from zines to clubs to cons to fan films to podcasts of the things that fans come together on and sometimes don't always survive. Soon Katsi was the highest rated episode of Voyager Season 6. You can dislike it, but it got the job done. Absolutely. In other news, Geek Podcast, Spill the Geek Tea that's the name of it? Spill the Geek Tea? Okay. Yes. Good to see both of you. Thank you for doing that, Lucia. Thank you for coming over. Except for the concept that The Rock kicked Seven's ass, the rest was okay. That they did that spin of the audience in the circular arena, and they only did about a third of an arc, and they just CG'd everybody all the way around. And they were so desperate for aliens that Mike Westmore they were pulling faces from the older shows. So you had all these alpha beta, like DS9 aliens sitting in the audience, and people going, how did they get in the middle of the Delta Quadrant? It was like, well, that's just amazing. It's just like we got species diversity. That's Hansen's biological law of parallel species development. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah. Hey, Rebecca. It's awesome to see me, Rod, and the Akutas at the costume tables at the Trek Cruise. Yes. I'm sorry. Did you go through that mile of people? My God, what we have 200 people in 3 hours? It was something insane. What was it? 300 people in 2 hours? I wrote it down. It's in my post. But yay! It was a lot of fun. Thank you for popping in here. Is this part of the raid? Who's raiding over? Hey, isn't the trailers to remind people of what's coming? Yes, it's a teaser. It's not supposed to spoil it, right? But some people don't even want to see the teasers, right? Yes, it's supposed to make you want to see the show. It's where the word teaser comes from. Just like a teaser at the beginning was the teaser to make you not change the channel. It's kind of like a sweeps month. Now it's the cold open, which sounds a totally different vibe to me. Every show starts cold. Every show has a starting point that follows on from something that didn't exist before because you had a commercial or the show before. Yeah. They use it on things like on live shows. Saturday Night Live has had its cold open because it's just bang, you just start. But a filmed show, anyway, that's like my thing about content. It's like it's a stupid word and a stupid concept, and yeah, not very descriptive. There you go. I don't mean to, you know me, guys, I don't pile on the bandwagon. In fact, I run away from the popular bandwagon a lot. That's just part of my thing, but the pit's incredible. And I didn't jump on the bandwagon a year ago. The first season came out last year. And then when Janet wanted to watch it, then we binged and waited till second season. Now we're stuck waiting 9 months or whatever, 10 months for the next season, unless they downtown. You used to think it was downtown, Abby? Yeah, that Abby that's very handy to city center, right? Yeah. Hello, nurse. Yes. Absolutely. Well, we got the generation here, huh? I wouldn't have known. Well, I'll shut up. Yeah, they've been at Vegas. I don't know if she's been. Isa has been. Isa has been so busy she may not have ever been at Vegas, but I don't think she's averse to it. She seems pretty good spirited, and I've seen her when you see her at live things. She seems to be a pretty good egg, not like, oh, I'll never go to a Star Trek con. That'll be the downfall. That will signal the end of my active career. We're not quite there. Oh, Freakazoid, yeah. I died. There was a Freakazoid episode. Janet watched the kids watching it, and we went back to see it. They're somewhere, and they're in an impossible situation. The bad guy, the villain, has them locked up in a cell or something. And then this kid walks in and says, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And they all go, "It's Russell the intern." Or Russell the PA. And Russell the PA just gets the key off the wall and comes over and locks the door for them. There's something about making coffee. I don't remember. I just was dying laughing. Talk about the fourth wall. That's like the fifth wall. Yeah. Freakazoid runs around his underwear. Freakazoid. Yeah, just in time on Broadway. Okay. See, I'm going to let you guys talk about your podcast drama because I'm not up with any of them. Okay, Doralta, not going to FedCon. Okay. Oh, there was a Hulu revival? Okay, cool. Yeah, the classic Warner Brothers, the Looney Tunes revival it's just never quite the same. The new season of Jetsons, which even though they had George Hanlon, I think still old man George Hanlon, and the voice was aged, but yeah, it just still wasn't, it's just not of its time. Yes, they've had Star Trek at that Brazil convention before. I think, Lucia. It's the 60th. That's surprised they didn't have more people than Robin Curtis, but there you go. Austria Comic Con in Wales is this weekend, but I probably won't go. But indeed, Convention Spring starts in 3 days. It's Wednesday here now. Absolutely. Yes, it is. I got you up late here. Sorry. Now, if I had Allie and Sean here, what would we talk about? Yeah, we'll have to do that sometime. Someday, some way. See, a lot of the Europeans are going, can you? And some of the Americans like, who, what, who, what? I am great. You're great. Okay, lots of worldwide cons happening. Yay, 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 yay. Trying to get us through here. Oh, and the fact that Creation is going to have their East Coast Con is going to be in Philly in the fall, right? A little later. Yes. That's right. Happy National Superheroes Day. Thank you there, Donnie. Yeah, I mean, Pedro, think about what bridge is most known to the biggest mundane audience, right? Right. And there's a vote. Voyager? Okay. Me too. I don't know what the big deal was. The floors are so shiny. It's like, really? Does somebody come along? Do the dots come in and polish it? I don't know. Fox's The Floor is produced in Ireland. Is it carpeted or tile? Shiny. Okay. Bye-bye, Rose. Good night. I know it's getting late. Thank you, Christoph. I knew you would do this probably. The Defiant USB stick has 16 gigabytes for $50. 50? Wow. It's not about the capacity. I have R2D2, Yoda, and C3PO sticks with 8 gigs. Easily remembering what's on which. Wow. 16 gigs, huh? Okay. Good night, Duralta. With the X-Files, they started in Canada and then moved to LA, which is more expensive. I thought it was just the other way around. I don't know. Maybe when the money started rolling in with the better ratings. MacGyver went to Canada in season 3 because it was cheaper to produce there. No doubt. No surprise. Oh, Until the Main Viewer, VTC, 99 all. There you go, Rose. All right. X-Files lost something when they moved to LA. There's a big difference between Canadian light and California light. I don't doubt it. Thank you, Doug. Well, that's what we did with the original series. That's why I'm a fan. I love the universe. It was amazing to me that they did that. Concerning the puppet episode, there was a puppet episode in Angel. So I have no problem with the puppet episode of Trek. So you're comparing Angel to Trek? Okay. Oh, hard bargain there. 26 or no deal. Syndicated cartoons where 65 episodes were needed. Different producers shared the show. It could work with Star Trek to make 26. Well, it did in the past. It's about the business model and how is it done. Does that mean that Rick, if he had to run out his contract, he went to Office, basically got UBI? No, he had a contract that paid him a certain amount a year. He just wasn't making product that was going to bring in residuals. You know, the long term, the golden goose. Yeah. One Little Ship, you vaguely recall Beyond the Stars. Oh, you'll remember One Little Ship. It's Bashir and O'Brien and Dax? Is that who it is? Little. You started to read the Ishmael? Yeah. Here Come the Brides was fun. It was about see, people got all upset about Harry Mudd, but that was a real historical thing. And Here Come the Brides is loosely based on the lumberjacks in the Northwest, and they wanted a settled community, not wild, like miners during the gold rush in California. They wanted a settled community, and they went to Massachusetts and not pimping prostitutes, but they got women and said, come find a husband in the Northwest. And they did. And there's millions of stories that some settled, some didn't, some left, some stayed. And that's what the show Here Come the Brides is about. But they use it as, there's a lot of Star Trek connection. Two of the three Bolt brothers, some self-sealing stem or otherwise, two of the three Bolt brothers were guest stars in Star Trek. The guy who was the nominal villain or their adversary, Aaron Stemple, regular, was Mark Leonard. So you had three of these strong Star Trek ties, right? Well, one very strong and a couple. And fans loved it over the years. And Ishmael was kind of maybe even been written as a fanfic that got sold because it was. But Spock is time travels and he loses his memory, and he thinks the guy that runs the sawmill looks really familiar. And there's all this cute stuff in it. Yeah. You hope season 4 of Strange New would be better than season 3 and better than season 1 of Academy. Maybe, people have all kinds of definitions of what best is and range and degrees, but right off the bat, it looks like maybe that's a safe bet, depending on, where you are with Academy versus Strange, the best of Academy and the best of Strange New. I'm just waiting for the second season of Academy to be out. I hope it is. Hope they don't sell it off or do some wacky tax thing. I'm waiting for it to air and people to go, oh my God, this is great. They really bloomed and blossomed in season 2 and too late now, like 4th season Enterprise. For me, some episodes of Academy were better than others. Yep. The third one, the hijinks, the college hijinks show, and then the visit to Amok Time on Keonian. Those were the two. To be fair, Larry, about the Pit, I'm not into streaming shows, so it's most likely would pass me by. There you go. Yeah, Noah Wiley was on The Librarian, which is how he knows Jonathan Frakes so well. Exactly. I need to watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Yeah, but Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was after Airplane. So it is at Warner Brothers, so there's a little bit of spiritual ghosting. I don't know about the exact sets, but yeah. Yeah, that was his fake Indian name, Jamaica Highwater. But it was Jamake. You can read it. He's on Wikipedia. The real name, the guy was East Coast, Bronx, New York, whatever, Jewish, ethnic mix of things, Middle Eastern, European, had that dark Jamie Farr look. But yeah. Season 3 over the last 2 weeks mellowed on the zombie episode and the one where the away team gets trapped. You mean the one with the sliding doors and all that, where they forgot they had tricorders for half a show? Yeah. Just looked up Wikipedia, and that's true. Seven's home colony is called, the Tendara colony. Yes. So no statues here on Earth. Unless somewhere there's a Tendara for some reason. I wonder where that came from. Who named that? Is that the novel where Spock was on Earth in the past due to some temporal thing and he had amnesia? They quoted the Minstrel Boy song. Yeah, that was it. Well, Pedro, you just tend to have a view out of the mainstream on many things. But then that's me too. Apparently Starbuck and Boomer are in the novel too. Okay. Jerry was around in season 3. Pillar left by then. Yes. Braga and Joe wrote Distant Origin. Yes. And then Jerry retired. Michael's still in the business, but Jerry retired after 4. She did the first 4 seasons. Okay, bye-bye, Narda. Yay. Yes, movie franchise reboot. Well, reboot of the Kelvins? Yeah, the Kelvins were never going to amount to anything anyway. It was like the stub of the trunk that was going to grow and not go. Can we have the Ronlin War? Can we have Midway Kirk Picard? Can we have Midway Archer Kirk? People keep calling it the Lost era. It's like, well, it's Lost sounds like it's one hole. There's lots of holes in the Trek timeline that haven't been touched. Lots of holes. I mean, there's many holes between Kirk and you could pick out. Section 31 was going to be late Enterprise B-ish era. But that's gone. That was botched. Good night, Narda. You sound like a broken... No, I'm kidding. The last 4 episodes of season 1 were integrated into season 2. Season 2's episodes are much different in tone, so it's annoying. Talking about Voyager? Yeah, blame UPN. Make us 4 holdovers we can have to start early in the fall. And we won't tell you until you've made them and planned them. They were very annoyed too. Believe me. The 37s was supposed to be a season 1 finale. Yeah. Okay, yeah, have the veal. You'll be here all week, right? Okay, bye, Donnie. I know we're getting... Thank you, Alan Smithy. Yeah, that's the fake director name that directors take if they want to say. And, oh, you got it back, yes. What I said about the reaction to John Carter is similar to Tron Ares, where people eventually showed up and said it was okay. Kind of halfway waiting for that to happen with Academy Season 1. We'll see. Oh, really? They're not allowed to use Alan Smithy anymore? Well, there's a story. Okay. There are those who believe that life here began out there. Yes, Patrick McNee. He's in there avenging up a storm, right? There are those who believe that life here began out there. Okay. Goodbye, Christoph. You're nodding off. We'll see you on Euros, if not next week. Euro Portal 7s. When they did the wrestling episode, Mike Westmore believed in it. He was scrambling to fill up those seats. Yeah. Oh, the Star Trek Family DS9 watch party. We'll give my best to the family. Oh, very good. You wore the conspiracy costume with the pink bugs. The little creepies, the little crawlies. Yes. There are no teasers in modern TV because they got rid of TV intros. Remember, they got rid of channel changes. Now you had to get up out of your chair and go change the channel. Now it's just a button. And I don't mean even the old school remotes. I mean, now it's digital even. Yep. But I still say it's a format. It's a teaser in 4 acts. You're going to write a teaser in 4 acts. You're going to write a teaser in 5 acts. Yep. Cairo. This is still going on. I'm sorry. Are we taking the room, Cairo? Since Voyager, if the Voth had any connection to the lizard folk in the TAS episode BEM. I don't know. I was going to say the lizard folk in BEM look more like, oh my gosh, guys. I'm about to lose my neck. You used to live on the same street as Joan Collins? Well, people don't know that because it's probably not everywhere people could see it. And probably not the whole world knows who you are to care. I mean, don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying. George Jetson in German was dubbed by Guido Hügel, the voice actor of Al Borland, and of course some guy you probably never heard about. The guy who German voiced Archer, German voiced George Jetson. Wow. And Guido Hügel was the second voice of George. The third was Michael Penn. I know Michael. I met him at my first convention ever. And then I talked to him here online something. Yes, the German voice for all the years. Thank you for all this German background trivia. Here, we'll commemorate it here in the video. Yay, okay. Difference between the Canadian and Californian atmospheres. Had the feeling British Columbia was always rainy. It's your kind of weather. Yep. Oh, Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Okay. I haven't seen either one. I need to. Remember the song. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Speaking of the puppet episode, it's a backdoor tie-in to Lower Deck's second season security chief being turned into a puppet. Are you kidding, Jesse, or are you giving us a spoiler here? Look forward to Academy Season 2, but I wish they didn't do a cliffhanger for the end. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch. Interesting to watch play out. Is The Pit a bona fide doctor's show? Like here, does it have some, say, fantastical elements like the one show with Michael Shanks where he plays a doctor in a coma? No, it's very hardcore doctor, and it is unrelentingly. Each episode is an hour of the day. So the entire season is one day from 6 a.m. until whatever, early evening. And they usually overlap with the evening shift coming in, unless there's a reason to call in everybody all hands on deck. Oh my gosh, everybody's in a talking mood. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes still get a kick out of the helicopter crashing. It was a real on-screen accident, but it was so low budget they kept it in the movie. Oh my gosh. Saving Hope is the show I'm referring to. Oh, okay. Still a Voyager, but yes, the Rock episode and the promotion was stupid. But they were tying into the wrestling on UPN, which was stupid, but I get it. I get it. Weird about Voyager because after 2, UPN ordered 4 extra episodes as part of the season to be used in season 3, but at least they weren't holding. I know. And then they stopped. Yep. Yes. So after they did that the first time, surprise, then they planned it in. Yes. Yep. The call sheets show that. Can't believe. Oh, with the helicopter. Can't believe they got away with the helicopter. There was a Golden Girls episode called To Catch a Neighbor, one of George Clooney's first jobs. What I liked about it, none of the, George Clooney was on Michael J. Fox's show. Wasn't he his sister's boyfriend? Family Ties? Was it Family Ties that Clooney was on? So The Pit is basically 24 with ER. You could look at it that way. Yeah. And it's all in one set. one expanded set. Occasionally they walk outside the hospital, the ambulance bay. But yeah, I think the pilot, they show Robbie riding in on his cycle. So he's on some streets and then he comes to work, parks, and then the whole thing is indoors. Yes. The posts are slowing down. It's 4:30. Woof, we've gone over 2 hours again. Did Christoph go to sleep? Did all my bean counters, my watchers watch down? Wow, good conversation, everybody. I think we actually kind of occasionally touched on my theme for the day here. Yeah. There you go. It's the end of the chat as we know it. I think that's it. Hey, everybody, thanks for spending another Tuesday with me. Whoa. And this time I want to make sure and thank everybody who's helping make this possible. Boom, our TTLers. This is my Patreon folk. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, Chuck A. and James Kerwin and Diana, what's wrong with me? Diana Hopkins, Halbert Gunjonson, Lawrence Todd, Chris Jiggins, Mitch Keith, Keith Rombach, J.R. Poole, Pranakasha Productions, Comedy Forecast, and Andrew Jazemski. And our live wires, this is beginning to get a crowded club here, and it would be even bigger if I would get my promised Old Portal 47 behind the scenes interviews, guest night recordings out for you. So thank you, Toby Pellegrino. Thank you, Elizabeth Stretz. Thanks. Oh my gosh, Josh, what is wrong with me? I can't read today. I'm too tiny. Thank you. Thanks, Josh. Thank you, Gary Williams. Thank you, Rob McLean. Thanks, Byron Bailey and David Gall and MJ Frug. I love saying that. Chris Garris, Brendan Coles, Dave Gregory, Jesse at Crusher Convo, Donna S. Runyon, and Casey Shafsky. See, I'm still here. If you want to help out too, you can. My simple Patreon is just $5 and $10 a month. It's patreon.com/Trekland Live for the shout out and for the supposed sharing of guest interviews. I'm overdue to do that, and we'll get to it. Yes, speaking of changing gears, the Trek Files is on hiatus, probably for another 2 to 3 weeks, but we'll be back. Meanwhile, as we did this Monday, if you join the Patreon for Roddenberry and Mission Log, join their Patreon, you get access to the Discord where we have Trekophiles Tonight, our community meetup for the Trek Files. So if you're a fan of this, for $1 a month, you can join our live meetups in Discord every other Monday at 4 Pacific. Those are specifically on time. You also get access to all the other fan meetup groups on Discord for all the other Roddenberry shows, podcasts, and a lot of fan-provided content. There are shows for Battlestar Galactica. There's shows for all kinds of fandom interests. It's a big, big board with a lot of message boards and a lot of live meetups. And it's as little as $1 a month over at the Roddenberry Patreon, Mission Log Patreon. You can look it up. This is mine. The Trek Files will be back. We're going to have an awesome opening. Can't wait to get into season 15 very soon. Very soon. We're recording shows now. And yeah, once again, if you are of a mind to do it, the clock is ticking, as is my patience, for finding the Geek Nation Tours multi-day big location tour the week before Vegas. You don't have to go to the convention, but that's when we're doing it around LA, Trek sites. And I keep forgetting to say, we have actors with us, some of your favorites. They're always associated with where they've been on location. There's one more we're going to add to this when it gets closer. Please do that. Or if you're just looking for a day when you're in LA, around SoCal, we pre-plan your Trekland treks. This is a day tour that I will concierge and drive you around. The big tour, Geek Nation Tours, our LA to Vegas hashtag is geeknationtours.com. My friend Terrace, we haven't done it in 10 years, which is amazing to me, but there was a pandemic and other crap going on in there in the middle too. Brought it back for the 60th anniversary. We had a second leg that was in San Francisco for that one. Huge, maybe 25 people between the two tours. we can get back there too. Also, there's a 1-day tour out to Valley of Fire where Kirk died. It has some wacky stops as well. In Vegas, it leaves from the Rio and comes back to the Rio Tuesday, the day of Con Eve. We leave at 7 because of the heat. It's an hour out there. We're back at 2. So you're back in plenty of time. If you can leave at 7, you're back in plenty of time to get ready for the night's pre-con activities. So check that out too. The links are all out there on LarryNemechek.com as well. All my socials, you guys, you know, Larry Nemechek at on Blue Sky, on Twitter, X, Larry's Trekland on Facebook and Instagram. Got more stuff to post for Instagram too. Portal47.net is where you go. Again, don't ever suffer the post-con blues again. Portal is like a mini-con all year long. We have the roundtables. We have guest night. I share things from my archives. It's pretty awesome. We have a great community. And it's all no actors allowed. It's all behind the scenes, folks. And I think that's going to do it for us. Look, if you happen to be watching this later, make sure and try to join us live if you can. I do put the full live edition up on YouTube too, which is there before the edit version. So if you actually watch this all the way to the end because you're one of those folks that likes long form YouTube, it's a growing number. It's amazing. Then yeah, join us sometime on Tuesdays as well here on this channel. Like and subscribe to YouTube especially. Thank you so much for that. That's another week. We may have some fun guests next week. I'm working on it, but we will see. Meanwhile, I've got tomorrow is guest night in the portal from a modern show and a field we don't get to very often. I can't wait for that. And I guess that's done it for us. Everybody, please, once again, stay healthy, do all the things. Stay awoke, check the sources, and trek well, everybody.